Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I thought I would do a getting started with Davinci Resolve. This is Davinci Resolve 18. This is free. You do have to register, but it's a free download. From what I can tell, it doesn't watermark your final products. It doesn't limit your time or anything. So far, I've been able to spend hours editing videos on it. I did have a couple problems when I first got started with it. I had to disable my Intel video driver because I have a laptop with a Intel video driver and an NVIDIA. So I had to disable the Intel part because this started up completely blank. That fixed that problem, rebooted the software after disabling the Intel video driver, and everything's fine. And no other issues that I can tell with my system. The other thing I had was I had a problem with my audio drivers. So I had to come in here and I had to jog this around. I don't know. It seemed like it was on the right setting, but it just wasn't playing to my Afterglow headset. I could get it to play to the external speakers, but not to my headset. So I did have to kind of jog these settings to get that to work. This is my favorite mode. There's a bunch of different modes, but this is the cut mode. With the cut mode, you can cut and paste and alter your timeline, your video timeline, which the blue part here is video, the green part down here is a voiceover track that you can bring into. This is a multi-track editing system, so you can bring more things in. You can so far I've been doing the game audio and then a voiceover audio, which just automatically get mixed. It brings the game audio in when you import things. That's this blue line down here. The green one is I had to create a track, and that's just done. I think you just right click and add track. So that's easy enough. And then you can move around in the timeline either by dragging over here. You can play, you can jump, you can actually move this too, if I'm not mistaken. You can grab it right in the timeline up here, just the simplified view of the timeline, which does show your breakpoints. You can drop markers, and then that way when you're jumping around, it'll jump. It jumped to this breakpoint I had. It also has some neat features that if I delete something, it just assumes I'm going to fill that gap with whatever video is left, which is nice for most video editing, because most video editing you're cutting things out. You could probably turn that off. I'm sure there's like a snap property somewhere, probably over here. Yeah, snapping, you can turn it off. But I'll demonstrate that. Hit that. Oh, I did turn it off, so I didn't mean to turn it off. But nevertheless, you can fairly easily move things around. So I really like the ease of it. It just has a lot of nice little features. One feature too is when you're looking at this is the media that you've imported. You can import different media, different movies and clips. This is an audio clip, but once you've got it in here, you drag and drop it down to your timeline where you need it. But if you forget what the content is of that clip or which clip you're looking for, if you just hover over it, even in this little preview pane, it actually gives you little preview frames of the movie itself. So that's really super nice. And then, another feature is, say, you know, I just cut off a piece of this here. You could do undos pretty easily. You can do an undo, what I just did, edit, undo, or Control Z, and can go back. But say you cut something and you don't have any undos. Say, let's go to the end. Go to the end here. And say I decide to put a cut right at the end. And we'll do a little cut there. And then delete this last bit. Now say I didn't quite get the frame right. I could actually go in here, and if you hover over the end of that, you can just drag this along and it'll pull that back out. Now I do have to fix the audio, but everything looks good. So that's a neat feature. It does have many different sort of production screens, I guess you would say, production layouts. So the first one is media. Seems to be audio oriented. This is the main one I use, the cut. And then we have the edit. This one you can actually add fades just by pulling down these little handles in here. So I can do, see if you go all the way back to the beginning, you can see I just pulled down these little handles to create that fade in. So you can see I created a video fade in and an audio fade in just simply by pulling these little handles in this mode, in this edit mode. Next mode is fusion mode. I don't really know much about this. It seems to have a very different layout. We've got a color mode. We've got a audio mode. And here again you can see in more detail the audio fade that I created, and you can adjust it. So we also have a mode called deliver. So I presume that's when you're getting to do the final touches. You can export from this screen. Although it has a really quick export function just in the cut mode. So we've got the export video, and we have a full screen option for reviewing the video. When you're in full screen, you can easily pop right back to the normal view. Very handy. So anyway, that's it for Davinci Resolve. I hope that helps. I looked for a quick start for Davinci Resolve 18, and I did not see one on the internet.